since putting all this content on YouTube, when I looked, I think we've got 411 short films on and various bits that we've put on. Well, I know we had, because I looked, and I don't look at it all the time. It was just the fact that we'd reached 10,000 subscribers, so we're looking at that. But is there any particular film that stood out that we've talked about, or any particular case that's interested you more than others? Any spring to mind?
Oh, me?
Well, yeah, you, basically.
Well, I like the story about the wars and the past wars and the going back ancient times, and the UFOs probably that been reported but seen then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. When we did that one called the Art of War. Yeah, I thought that would have got a few more hits actually.
And I thought that was interesting because obviously these things have been documented, either been painted in paintings in them days, more than likely, or even wall carvings.
Yeah. Did UFOs, unexplained phenomena, influence the theatre of war throughout man's evolution? Might not be as crazy as it first sounds. The theatre of war and the outcome of battles and the appearance of unexplained phenomena. There seems to be a pattern forming throughout history. We'll just sort of talk through a few of these ideas. Looking at historic UFO reports the other day, I mean from all over the world, Germany, Switzerland, Brazil, and it sounds to me from looking at the reports and reading what little bit of information there is, that these objects actually took sides. Now, whether it's a little bit of poetic license on behalf of the writers of the day, I don't know. This way, Bob, come on. Here we go. That's it, you stay there. But nevertheless, these writings have survived. We're going back to, we're not just, in some cases, we're going back well over 1,000 years. And I just find it fascinating. Then there's the reports of the miracle of Fatima. All of these reports that have come through and stood the test of time. And I think we're in some kind of golden age now with the reporting of not just UFOs but unexplained phenomena. There seems to be a movement amongst the powers that be in the world. I don't know whether it's to suppress, nearly fell over then. I don't know whether it's to suppress the knowledge by giving us a little bit and then tying us up in knots for a further 5 to 10 years, or whether there's an actual push to get this information out. I know in some quarters people are actually trying to get it out, but yeah, these ancient reports. There's one from Hackness that I've found that I don't think it's ever really been put on internet in any great detail, which involved a nun called Begu, who said that she observed the roof of the monastery open up during the night and light poured in and celestial beings poured down. And reports like that fascinate me because obviously it's their interpretation of something very, very strange occurring. Did she have a lucid dream? Did she have a very, very real encounter with true unknown? If we say it were a lucid dream, how do we explain the miracle of Fatima? That's probably one of the most interesting ones, that when you consider that over a period of time, thousands of people came to observe what they called the sun dancing, and they described the sun in a way that could actually be described as a UFO.
So I think there's a lot more to uncover on that one. There's a hell of a lot more to uncover.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, I totally agree. I mean, and I've been knocking some kind of theories about, and that's all they are, theories. Just recently, all different things about, you know, what causes the phenomena or what attracts the phenomena, if we go with the CE5. But it all comes down to mind. Everything comes down to the focusing the mind, you know, every part of it. If somebody has a UFO sighting, quite unexpected UFO sighting, you can bet your bottom dollar that after that sighting other things happen. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that that's the hitchhiker effect, but I do think it's a concentration of thought that brings about these other unexplained events. You look at, there's so many things that we can compare. We've got trauma, and people experience the paranormal, and I think it'd be interesting to find out, or to not to find out. I think it would be interesting to look at what type of paranormal event follows trauma. What type of paranormal event follows teenagers as they're growing up, because we know what it is. It's poltergeist activity. There's lots and lots of kind of connotations. Bereavement. What type of paranormal event follows bereavement? It's usually ghostly activity. So it's interesting that they all have their own niche. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that's across the board, but for the most part, it's got its own kind of niche bit of phenomena. Bereavement, ghostly activity follows, seeing deceased loved ones, but it's all about the concentration of thought on the subject matter. You know, I don't know. Any views on that, Les? No.
Not at the moment.
All right, well, we're concentrating on road. We're just driving back now from interviewing a witness, and it's just come into my mind about a story I was told, first-hand account by a guy named Scott and his partner Christine, and it was Christmas. I think we're going back to 2008. Imagine it, Christmas time, so we're December. They're heading to Hull, doing some Christmas shopping. They're in Beeford, so they're a good distance away from Whalley Cross, and they can see 3 lights in the sky. Picture a rack of snooker balls, but just 3 of them. But these lights are yellow, and they're looking at them as they're driving. No interest in UFOs whatsoever, or anything unexplained. They're observing these lights and driving along, passing different areas of the road, bends and things, and losing sight of them. But each time they're coming into view on the straight bits of road. Eventually, and that is when they're at Whalley Cross. How long have we got to Whalley Cross, Les?
1 minute.
1 minute, so we'll continue talking. Eventually, as they get to Whalley Cross, these lights are directly above the road, in the middle of the road, just a few hundred feet up. And Scott tells Christine to slow the car down, his passenger. And they wind the windows down, and they're just here, literally in this location. And other drivers have already slowed their cars down, and they're looking up. And these lights, these yellow lights, are just hung in the sky. Unbelievably, here's where it gets quirky, because it's a big thing, whatever they're looking at. They said it sounded like a diesel engine, which it couldn't have been. It had been stationary since they'd been watching it at Beeford, which had probably going to be, what, I would estimate 5 minutes away.
Another minute and a half.
Les has just corrected me again. Did you notice that? Well,
Minute and a half.
minute and a half.
Yeah.
So, minute and a half away, and they're watching it. We've got blue lights coming, I think, have we? And yeah, so just a story from 2008. 3 lights, one on top of the other 2. They slowed down enough to wind their windows down and watch these lights. We've got lights here. Let's just hope everybody's okay. They passed underneath them, drove on their way, other drivers saw it. Nothing reported in the papers, nothing said about it from anyone else. I got to know about it because I worked with this guy on the building site. When he came to work on the Monday morning, he told me. So just a short account, and hope you enjoyed that. And as always, when we're putting these accounts out, if you are interested in enjoying what we're talking about, what do we do, Les?
Press like and subscribe to the Truth Proof channel.
Absolutely, totally free, and it just gives us the incentive to do a little bit more. So on that note, we'll say goodbye.
See ya.
Bye bye.